This is from Lesson 10 in Module 1, and this is from the homework. So number 2 says to complete each statement by rounding the number to the given place value. I'm going to do A, B, and C. 783 rounded to the nearest hundred is, so if we're rounding to the nearest hundred, that's the key word. We want to find the hundred place value. And every time we find the place value we're rounding to, it's either going to stay the same or go up. Those are the only two options. So if I'm rounding 783, the only options are that it would stay 700 or it would round up to 800. The way I determine that is by looking next door at the neighbor. The 8 tells us that 783 is going to round up to the next highest hundred, which is 800. So this whole number would round to 800. It's also important to note that whatever place value we're rounding to, every number to the right becomes a 0. So as we are starting here, we rounded to the 100 place value. All of these numbers have to become zeros. So in example B, 12,781 rounded to the nearest hundred is, again, we're rounding to the nearest hundred, so we need to find the hundred place value. All numbers to the left stay the same. All numbers to the right become zeros. This is the only digit that has a choice, whether it's going to change or not. So we know for sure that the 12,000 will not change because we're not rounding to that place value, we're rounding to the hundreds. We know for sure that the last two digits are going to change to zeros. So the only place value we're unsure about is this hundreds place value. It's either going to stay 700 or round up to 800. We're going to look next door, and the 8 tells the 7 to round up to 800. So our final answer would be 12,800. 951,194 rounded to the nearest hundred is, again, we're still looking at that hundred place value. So we're going to find our hundred place value. We know that all of these digits stay the same. We know these two digits become zeros. So 951,000 will not change. To decide if the 1 stays a 1 or rounds up to 2, we look next door at the 9. The 9 tells the 1 to round up to 2, so we're going to have 200. We know that everything after the rounded place value becomes zeros, so we're going to end with 2 zeros.